Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Brandon Croucher, CEO of Delight Cafe. It is Monday, November 8th, 2021. And I don't know if you know this or not, but guess what? You have the opportunity to make today, yes, today, November 8th, 2021. You only get one of these in life. Tomorrow is not going to be November 8th. Yesterday wasn't November 8th. You only get today. So use today to make sure you better not just who you are, but find that way of finding deep down inside that November 8th, 2021 is the Monday that you stepped forward into your best realm. Use it like this. Thinking involves the ability to think realistically, while feeling is a mental strength that doesn't involve suppressing your emotions or denying your pain. While doing is the mental strength of knowing that what you are talking about is going in a productive action. Today is Monday, November 8th, 2021. And tomorrow will be the same amount of time for 24 hours in a day, 1,440 minutes, 86,400 seconds. And that is what we get every single day. If you can find the time to be able to love yourself, find the time to be able to look deep inside yourself and be grateful for every breath you have. Today will be your greatest Monday yet. Thank you for joining us and welcome to Delight Cafe.
Good morning. Good morning. Java Delight will uplift you. Stay tuned. The show is about to begin. Grab your coffee. Stay tuned. This show is about to begin.
And we're back. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us here at Job Delight this morning. My name is Brandon Croucher. Thank you for the Mental Health Monday. I hope we're all excited to be here. I am honored to be by the one, the only, Miss Ilse from South Africa. Ilse, how are you, beautiful?
I am amazing. Morning, guys. Morning. Oh, that was a beautiful message. Thank you so much. That was really, really beautiful.
Oh, I was like, what did somebody say? What did I do? Who did what?
No, you're busy.
I just zone out, and I had like stuff written, and I wrote to myself this morning, and as I was writing this morning, it hit me. Like, you only get a certain number of minutes in a day, Brandon. Like, yesterday, I was very grateful for being able to go out, be the best version of myself, and just see that I'm able to put a good energy out there. And it hit me as I was driving here this morning. I'm like, I only get this one November. This is the only Monday, November 8th, I will be able to get. And the truth is, it's not a bad thing. You get the same 24 hours that I get, and you get the same 1,400 minutes that I get. And at the end of the day, it's how are you maximizing Ilse? How are you maximizing Brian Tracy, Mama Gotti, Fernando, Sharon Croucher, my mom? How are you maximizing your life today and making it the best fucking you can? Under 5 minutes, new world record. I'm going for it. My thing is, I woke up this morning and I was on fire. And I felt in my gut, it's time to stop the excuses. It's time to not be laying in bed. It's time to not, and I haven't been doing that as is. You guys know that. You've seen me showing up, but like, it's time for me to step into the realm that Brandon's supposed to. It's time for me to know, Brandon, do more and be that example you want to be. And I just am grateful for everybody that's here, that wants to be a part of it, that's sharing, that's liking, that's commenting, that's watching. I'm grateful for all of you. And yeah. Wait, is today is your daughter's birthday?
Yes, today is a very, very, very special and emotional day for me. It's Mama Gotti's birthday as well. Happy birthday, Mama Gotti. I just know you are an amazing person because I know my daughter's an amazing person. And Scorpios are the best. I love you to pieces. So I wrote a post to my daughter this morning with tears running down my face because 20 years
Good.
ago, I was 19 when I gave birth to her. And this morning, I just thought back to the 20 years and the journey. I have had the honor to have her in my life. And I just want to say today, I am so proud of that little girl. She's the most beautiful soul in the whole wide world. And I wish her just so many beautiful things in life. And to know that she is loved. And I know that she can do anything she puts her mind to because she is gorgeous and she saved my life.
I love that. I love
So
that very much. Happy
today,
birthday. I'm going to sing happy birthday. And then you're going to sing, I'm going to sing happy birthday to your daughter. And then you're going to sing happy birthday in African to Mama Gotti. How's that sound?
okay, cool. That's a deal.
All right. How do I say your daughter's name so I don't mess it up?
It's Eileen.
Eileen. It is Eileen. Okay.
Yeah.
I know. I know that I've messed up Ilse's name a couple times, and I always call you Ilse. But so, happy birthday to Irene. Happy birthday to Eileen. Happy birthday to Eileen. Happy birthday to you.
Okay, so now it's me. Mama Gotti, this is for you. Veel geluk, lieve mooitjie, omdat jij verjaar. Mag die Here jou sien en nog baie jare spaar. Hip hip!
Hey!
Woep woep!
Mama Gotti, happy birthday. I almost said, all right, happy birthday, but it's not it. Eileen, happy birthday. Thank you guys for being here today. Thank you for everything. Eileen, thank you for bringing about such a positive light into your mom. Your mom is an amazing human being, and she sees it in you, and she sees how much you do. And I want you to know how amazing you are, because your mom has had really, just like any mom, they don't know what they're getting into when they dive into being a parent. There's not a manual. Even though everybody thinks they have a manual, there's not one. And 20 years later, you're now older than when she had you. And guess what? Every moment of her life has gotten better every day you're there. And Mama Gotti, you're doing the same thing, giving back to your kids, that same love and energy. I talked to you on the phone last week, and you've been doing so many great things, helping your kids, building the next step for you. And I love every single person here that's doing stuff and what they're doing. So happy birthday. Please keep bringing the positive vibes. Brian, Tracy, good morning. Delight Digital Cafe, good morning. Ilse this morning gave us a music video to watch, and she shared it on all platforms. Guys, if you want to have a dance party, this is Ilse's Dance Party of the Day song. And I asked the question, what song gets you motivated this morning? Throw it in the comments. Let us know exactly what it is. Let us know exactly what you're doing, how you're doing, where you're going, and give us your song that is going to spark a fire inside you today. Because truth be told, guys, we are working this together, and I love to see people's music. And Ilse played that song for me backstage, and I was dancing and just all over. Ilse was laughing at me. She's like, "You are a dork." I'm like, "You didn't know this?" So it was wonderful, and honestly, no better way to start Monday, November 8th, 2021. Sound good?
I agree with you. How was your weekend? What did you do?
Well, I'm going to hog the scene when I do this, so I don't want to hog it, but I did have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. I disappeared. I went to where I had no internet signal whatsoever. I had to connect to Wi-Fi to communicate with people, and I chose not to. And while that might upset some people, guess what? Go fuck yourself. Because the truth be told, I needed this reset for me, or I would not be able to come and bring my best me. And if I want to put a positive atmosphere out there, if I want to put a positive vibe towards people, I need to be able to bring that to myself. And I wasn't doing that. So for me, it was essential to be able to reset that and give myself a redo. So I disappeared into the upper state of New York, and I went with a friend, and we had a wonderful time just escaping reality. And this is out in the middle of nowhere in New York, near Rochester, New York, and went to an Airbnb. And this is like miles and miles of windmills, and it made me so happy. So you could see how in the distance the foliage of all the leaves changing color. It's beautiful out there. The windmills just going from all different directions. At the bottom left of this picture, you'll see my arm. Yes, I had to stop and take a leak. That's why I got all those wonderful pictures. Ilse and I tested this earlier just to see if it would work, and I did this, and I hope you guys like this, because I 100% did this, and I do this everywhere I go. So you might not know this or not, but this picture is inside the room I was in. All right. So there's the kitchen. You can see there's the downstairs. If you go downstairs, there's a hot sauna, a shower, a bathtub. It was amazing. Everything in this. And this is an old barn, like an old barn. So over here, you have your dining room table, like sitting area. That door goes to nothing. And trust me, they don't like when you try to open it, because they told me not to open it. So I didn't realize I was creating trouble, but I did. You can see over here, they have their own little yoga thing. I swear to God, I think this place is used as a yoga studio during the week. So like that's there. And then when you turn a little more, that's the bedroom. Like check that out. That's the bed. Look at how nice it looks. That's the curtains around it. It's beautiful. And then ready? Here's my bed right there. Boom. Brandon's bed. You see the blankets are folded up already. That's my view when I was waking up. Absolutely spectacular. The fans above me. Check that out. Like I had so much fun here. This was one of a kind. I've never been to an Airbnb like this before. And truth be told, this was something that was not just needed for me. This helped me sit down, reset, and breathe. And that's something that was needed. I was in the middle of nowhere, so there's no street lights, very few cars. And then this is the house at night. And if you look, you could see the stars above it and all that. And it was just, I wanted to be in the moment. So I took pictures of the house with a car driving by, and you can see the light going by the house. That's how well that worked out. And it ended up being my favorite picture of the house. But like, you could see this barn was just middle of nowhere. And the stars are in the sky, and you could see so many stars, and it just opened up so much to be grateful for. I've never been happier to be able to break away, get into a realm where I'm able to be me. So I have some very, very, very big news coming up that I'm legally not allowed to say anything about yet. And I was able to sit down and write a bunch out for myself. And truth be told, I got a lot put into accomplishments, and I have a lot that's going to be coming about. I have a very big speech I'm going to be getting very soon, and I started putting some very interesting pieces together with it and explaining it. And I had, long story short, is I figured out how I can make it so different and unique. So for me, it was being able to find myself out there, and I did that, and I couldn't be more grateful. Let's see.
You found your creative spark, your mojo. Your mojo's back, baby.
Get it, baby. Do I make you horny, baby?
I just love when the mojo comes back and everything just sparks and it clicks into each other.
Yes.
That's how I felt this morning when I was writing this post, because 20 years is such a long time. And I sat this morning and thought how many times I have let seconds pass away or pass me, thinking of mistakes that I've made in the past and not looking at what I learned from those mistakes and where I am for someone that had no too little support, and what I did myself and how my daughter turned out, because I am the mother that I am, and the mother that I promised her I'll be. So I love it when you get your mojo back because I feel the same. I feel like I just want to do everything now.
I love it. Yeah, because you feel like a whole new energy about you and stuff. Mama Gotti did ask a question I have to answer, and then I'm going to ask you a question. And hello, Britt, Mama Gotti, Kevin, Bob Seymour. I see there's a lot of people hiding in the comments and all that. Do me a favor. If you're one of my haters, just give us a comment and say, hey, Brandon, F you, because I'd love to be able to tell you thank you for stopping by and saying hi. So please drop an F you, Brandon, in there if you're one of my haters. And please know I'm good with it. Thank you for hating on me. Without you, I wouldn't become the man I'm supposed to be. Oh, shoot. Oh, don't open the door sounds like a challenge to me. I know, me too. So that's why I was trying to open the door. My curiosity did get the best of me. And then I'm sitting there reading. No joke. I'm sitting there reading. What's with the tie is it's Mental Health Monday, and I wanted to look my best for you guys today. I really did. I purposely picked out an orange shirt with a sweater and a tie. And I wanted to look nice for you guys because I do wear a lot of t-shirts and stuff, but like, truth be told, we do a lot, and this is mental health season, and I have to show up, and some people don't respond unless you're wearing a tie, so like, it's stupid. I don't like that, but I wanted to look good and bring my best for you guys because you're worth it. And when I show up looking this good, thank you. I feel good about myself, and I don't want to see people. I want to see this channel grow. I want to see this channel be so you found a massively impressive beard. I did. How you doing, Jeannie? Thank you. Britt Brad says, frack you, Brandon. And I say, oh, thank you. My haters are coming out with fierce today. I love it. To all my haters, thank you for saying frack you. Literally, I called out my haters and 5 people disappeared on the viewing. No joke.
Guilty conscience.
I'm like, wow.
I use my F word.
I thought it was National Amish Appreciation Day. Oh, I love you, Bob. I love it. I appreciate it. Quite majestic. Ooh. Thank you. Love your tie, but I love you in a onesie too. You're awesome, whatever, buddy. Oh, thank you, Mama Gotti. I love you. Happy birthday. Mama Gotti, if you do me a favor, send me your address. I completely forgot today was your birthday. I want to mail you a box of delight for your birthday. Wishing you the happiest of birthdays. You're 29 and holding. I know that because we had that conversation. Just keep being you. Keep being effing amazing. Your Mama effing Gotti. And people need to know that. Just like I tell Kevin. He's Kevin Moore. You are who you are. Believe it and say it. So, yeah. Maybe they're afraid they would have to fight your haters. Like, honestly, I laugh because I'm like I watch the viewership, and there's days where I'm like, and I shouldn't. That's something I'm trying to let go of. And yes, Mama Gotti, I'm serious. Please do send me that. I will have that shipped out today. I checked on Mandy Atterbury's. It's like on a boat. It's like on a boat. It like showed me in the middle of the ocean, and I laughed. I'm like, well, that's good to know. I'm really happy that's here. I'm really happy to know that it's in the middle of the ocean and there's nothing I can do about it. I hope that she's okay, and I hope it's not getting wet. So do what you can do. But yeah, Mama Gotti is 29 and holding, 29 point, I think it's like 5. So we're just going to leave that where it is, 29.5. That way she doesn't have to move up to 30 yet. But guys,
I'm 20 with 19 years of tax. So in December, it will be 20 years of tax.
19 years of tax. Wow, I've never heard it put like that. Never, ever. Yes, I love that. I am at the new spot. That's why there is no decor behind me. I cannot say a ton yet on this, but there's going to be a lot that happens here. I start construction tonight. I'm actually going to be removing a wall from one room. I'm going to be removing part of this wall behind me. And then the other wall on this side of me is going to... part of this is going to come out as well. And the best part of that is I'm putting a system in place so the camera can move And I can
Oh,
literally
wow.
move the camera around the corner and be cooking with you guys. I can literally move the camera and turn it, and I can do my workout and not be messing up. Now, you ready for the best part about this, Ilse? This
Please tell
room
me.
right here is going to have 2 recliners in it. The projector is going to be right above us, and we'll be able to project movies on the wall or turn around and have the opposite wall turning the camera, and it's a green screen wall, so we literally could stand in front of a green screen and play games and stuff like that.
Oh, wow. I'm so freaking excited. I'm telling you. I can't contain my excitement. Every time somebody says something, I'm like, I got this huge secret.
I can't tell you. Britt Brad's picking on me. My hater coming out here. Britt Brad's picking on me. She's like, I can't tell you, but I'm going to tell you. I have something in the car for my team meeting after this. And when I explain it to them, they're going to look at me and be like, you're a fucking psycho. And I used all of my F words already this week. I'm sorry. Yeah, I noticed. But like, you're a psycho. And then I'm going to show them how it goes. And I promise you, this is going to be amazing to see the transformation. You're not going to want to go anywhere. You're going to be standing there going, let's go, Brandon. I've had to explain that to so many people, by the way, because people send it to me, and every day I get one. Like a stranger to a friend to somebody just like randomly being like, saw this one, made me laugh, and I thought of you. And I'm like, you think F Joe Biden transferred to Let's Go Brandon is worth it? All I have to say is to everybody that chants Let's Go Brandon, thank you for the encouragement. Thank you for
the advertising.
Right? Like, let's go Brandon. Delight Cafe.
I saw a post on Facebook with 2 people that had T-shirts on that said, let's go, Brandon. And I'm like, I need a shirt like that. That's amazing.
I have to be honest, this is where I think my life. Have you ever seen the movie The Truman Show?
No.
Jim Carrey. So he's on, and he's
maybe I can't remember what it's about, but I think I've watched a piece of it.
So Jim Carrey is he's a baby that's born, and they make his whole life a TV show. So it's on 24/7, kind of like what we do here, but always on, and he doesn't know it. Okay. So it's fun. It's good. It's all this stuff, but he starts to figure it out. I swear to God, I've always felt like that's my life. Always. And I think a lot of people do, but I make that joke because, like, all right, when I was running my one job company that I was leading and all that, I was head manager at the store. My boss that was the biggest butthead in the world, her name was Karen. Next thing I know, a month after I quit, the Karen memes start everywhere. And I'm like, see, this is why the world is following me everywhere I go.
Now you even have T-shirts.
I do. I have T-shirts. If only we could make that a little bit more fun. Like, let's go, Brandon. And it's like my face with a beard or something like that on the T-shirt. It's not Joe Biden's face. Like, just going to leave that where it's
on the back.
I don't want to do political. I don't want to go any way on that. I think it's hilarious how well this works because every time I see it now, I laugh and I think, that's an encouraging sign for me. So I just keep going. It's even if it's not, it's a diss on somebody else. It's a positive for me, and that's how I want to do that. I want to be. Brett Gordon.
I like how you do that.
I try. Brett Gordon, if you want to come backstage, my friend, I'd love to say hi to you because I know I'm going to see you in a little bit for a meeting. But I just wanted you to know how much I love you and I miss you, and you are a great human being. Not that the rest of you aren't, because I love you all. I just had not talked to my Brett in a couple weeks, and we were supposed to talk on Friday. And honestly, I was not. Will we see Brandon playing video games on screen while in a onesie? Negligee. I had to stop myself. Lingerie. Remember how I don't wear lingerie?
No, just the onesie. Just the onesie.
Just the onesie. What I'm going to do is I'm going to tuck it in, push it back, go underneath, do a little bit of this like, oh, and then dance in front of you guys wearing my unicorn onesie, being like, shake, shake, shake. Shake, shake, shake. Ilse, what did you do for your daughter this weekend on her birthday? How did you celebrate her birthday?
I didn't see her. She got a little bit sick and they went to the summer awards because it was the summer awards this weekend where all the South African metal bands got all the nominations and most of the people that we interviewed on our podcast. And they went to the awards on Saturday. But I had my little one with me and me and her hanged around Betsy the dog and yogaed and colored in. And did you see my profile, my picture on Facebook with Betsy? She's the cutest little puppy. She's so big, but she's a puppy. She didn't even want Inge's dad to come to her to pick her up because she was protecting her, standing and barking. Whoa, 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 whoa. And I'm like, okay, Bets, this is her dad. She needs to go with you. So
go with your dad. Don't come home with me.
I just had such a relaxing weekend. We had rolling blackouts the whole weekend. So it's like the winning lotto. Yes,
question.
Sir.
How are you handling the rolling blackouts? I asked that because they're doing this in California. They've been doing it in California. And it's one of these things where I'm hearing it. And all I can think is, could you be in the... I feel bad for you at times because all of a sudden we're in the middle of like doing a show and then boom, you're gone. Or you and I are in a meeting and then boom, you're gone. And I'm like, how do I get her back? You know? And she can't connect. She has nothing. Oh, we have a downvote! High five! We have a downvote! Yeah! Thank you to whoever gave me the downvote. My haters are not just coming out. They're just, instead of putting F you, Brandon, so I know who you are. And I lost 4 more people viewing because I did that again.
Oh, maybe it's my haters and not yours. Maybe it's some South African girl looking at my stuff.
I wish you could see who the downvotes were. Like, I mean, I can't see who the thumbs up are, but like that cracks me up because like I watch the viewership go up, and then all of a sudden, like look, Let's Go Brandon, that's my name. If you're taking that personally, get yourself a favor and take the stick out your ass because it's turned the wrong way. You're literally mad at words that have nothing to do. I am not saying F Joe anybody. I'm not saying anything. It's my name, and it's a popular meme right now that people like to send me. So it's funny. And if you hate me and you don't like what I'm doing on positivity, thank you. I got 2 downvotes. I have 2 downvotes.
Let's see if we can get more downvotes than upvotes this week.
Like for real.
That's algorithm.
Oh my gosh. Wait, I think Brian's raising his hand. Brian, did you give me a downvote? You gave me a downvote, Brian. Oh, he doesn't like my Let's Go Brandon joke, I bet. He's a big, like, yeah.
I wrote down 2 dad jokes. Wait, I wrote down 2 jokes for you so I don't forget them. But I forgot my paper. Where my paper's at?
Right.
Oh, the one is what do you call? Here it is. What do you call a nun in a wheelchair?
A nun in a wheelchair?
Yes.
Oh, they're telling me that I need to switch the topic, and that's why he gave me a downvote. Will you do me a favor, Brian? If I switch the topic right now, switch that over to an upvote. Holy roller. Oh, that's a good answer, Mama Gotti.
That is, but it's not the answer.
All right, so
Virgin Mobile.
What is it?
Virgin Mobile. That was my 13-year-old son this morning. I'm like, wait, what? Okay, just give me that joke. I need to tell it to Brandon. It was so funny.
That was a good one. That was a well done one. I am 100%. I like Holy Roller, Virgin Mobile. Oh my God, those are great. Those are great. Oh, that looks good. Sorry, Brit Brett sent me a picture message of cinnamon rolls. And I thought she was going to be building a fire today, but apparently the cinnamon rolls are more important than the fire. And personally, I don't blame you. Guys, what did you eat for breakfast this morning? I'm just curious. And then how well do you think you know our Delight Digital Network? I asked because here's a survey I made. And it's a simple, easy 10 questions. I promise they're all fun. They're all silly. But I made this last night, and I've sent it to Ilse. I've sent it to Brett, Fernando, and Brian. And Fairies made like an hour ago. Sorry, that's the voice I hear. I don't eat breakfast. Bro, how are we going to drink all night and then not eat breakfast in the morning? We got to reset, you know? Lost subscribers? No, downvote subscribers, buddy. Like, downvotes. That's what we were getting. And I'm changing the subject on that. And if we did lose a subscriber, honestly, life goes on. We're going to keep moving in the right direction. All right. Like, that's why I have people like Ryan. I have people like you. I have people like Brett. He's eating his green eggs and ham. That means they expired. Like, yeah, green eggs.
I don't know why you want green eggs. I had wine gums for breakfast.
You had what?
Wine gums. So it's like a jelly sweet, like a whole packet. And for lunch, I'm having a whole packet of marshmallows. I've decided that today I'm just going to stuff my face.
I love it. Get it? Get it? I love it. And then coffee for breakfast. Bob says he'll sleep till noon. He's a problem solver. And this one had me laughing. Brian with a Y. Why? Because he's hilarious. You can't drink all day if you don't start in the morning. Whiskey in my coffee, bro.
In South Africa, they call that police coffee. When they put whiskey in the coffee.
I never knew that. All right, you ready? Your favorite part of the show? Go.
And for breakfast, we have chorizo, sausage, spinach, bacon stuffed omelette with rye toast and strawberry smoothie. Yes, I can have that after my marshmallows.
Yes.
Yes,
Like
that marshmallows, because life is uncertain and you can't miss an opportunity to eat marshmallows. And then breakfast, it's healthy breakfast, so it's gonna work. I'm not gonna feel bad about the marshmallows then. My son's like, "Where's the marshmallows?" I'm like,
I'm thinking the same thing in my head. I'm looking out and I'm like, do I have marshmallows in my cupboard right now? Because I don't think I do.
You want some?
I do. Yeah, but they're too far away.
I'll send you some.
What did he say?
He wants s'mores.
Oh, your son is my hero. I want s'mores. I just call it coffee. They don't call it, instead of putting whiskey in your coffee, a police coffee. That's funny. That's funny. All right. You said you had 2 dad jokes for me. I've already got one. What's the other one?
So the other one is, what flower do you buy orphans?
What flower do you buy orphans? I'm not sure. What?
Self-raising.
That's actually great. That is actually...
That's one of my favorites. I'm sorry.
I have to be honest. That was a good one. That is a good one. Oh my God. I didn't see that coming in any way. I was like, that's funny. Oh, that's funny. So what are... Well, I have to go back to filming. I've been busy. Sorry I haven't been able to post daily. Have a great day, everyone. And that's probably why you and I haven't been able to connect. You and I's schedules have just been missing each other like crazy, brother. So you are on my to-do list today.
I hope one day that I can also be on somebody's to-do list. I'm just sorry. It's like, it sounds like you're on my to-do list. Really? Yay!
Isn't that how husband and wives work? Like, oh, honey, don't worry. I penciled us in.
Yeah, pencil me in, baby.
Oh, Minister Jane, I just literally talked about you the other day, saying how much I miss you and how we haven't heard from you. I am so glad to see you here. Brit Brat says she doesn't give a like or a comment to anything. So, Brittany, I have to ask, can you just do it once in your life? Just love us a little bit. Give us a subscribe, a like, a follow. Like, good Lord. I want to be on a to-do list. a to-do
Like
list.
and then you'll put it on the to-do list. Like and share, post, and then you can go on Brandon's to-do list. Come on,
You get
ladies.
on, ladies. Every lady that likes, shares, and comments, like, will be put on my to-do list tonight. That sounds really wrong, but I'll write you a nice message telling you. If you write me right now in the comments, I will send you a personal message thanking you. Guys and girls, that'll be on my to-do list. I will thank you personally, individually, not
Brett,
B's
you want to be
to-do
on
list.
my to-do list.
Fine, you could be on Ilse's to-do list, you know? Come to America. You're on Bullwinkle's to-do list. That is adorable, Bob. I freaking love that.
Yeah, I'm on my way, Uncle Bob.
Happy birthday, Mama G. Hello, Bob. It is in my tea with lemon and honey as hot toddies. I love that. Oh, I'm not liking or sharing. That's all I say to you. Hello, Mama. Hello, Fernando. And happy birthday, Mama Gotti. I love that. Britt, caramel macchiato is my jam, bitch. Girl, we have so much in common. Snap, crackle, and pop. Sorry, that's just Brandon's ADD kicking in. But so, today we have a fun show. Do you want to tell everybody a little bit about our guest?
I want to. I'm going to read his bio quickly.
That's fine, because that way when we go to the commercial, we'll just like cut right to it, and that way we come back later.
Okay, awesome. So we are interviewing Garry Jones. He is a transformational coach, martial arts master, an international speaker, and number one best-selling author. He worked for 20 years in the private industry, starting on the top floor to become a general manager responsible for 1,100 staff. It was in this environment that he discovered his passion for developing people, helping many attain top-level careers worldwide. Subsequent years of self-employment had given Garry a complete understanding of businesses, both large and small, and the people who work within them. He has a lifelong involvement in martial arts, and alongside his successful coaching career, runs a Muay Thai boxing gym, which combines his love for physical fitness with bringing out the very best in his students through his 40+ years of experience. Garry has a strong belief in achieving measurable results quickly and effectively. His unique experiences in the world of business, martial arts, physical and mental health, and spiritual development combine to create positive, almost alchemical change in lives and businesses of his clients. His vision is to have a lasting impact on 300 million people of the world, to leave a legacy of more smiles in the world. He lives with his family in I don't know how to pronounce that, in the UK, and work with clients on national and international level, creating bespoke solutions to many and varied issues, from one-to-one coaching to developing teams and leaders in multi-million-pound businesses.
Do you think we could get him to invest into light?
I think we can.
I think we can. I think we can do this.
I think
we all... Now, here's the thing. I Googled him, Garry Jones, and I'll warn you guys, there's a lot of freaking Garry Joneses in the world. I don't know if you know this or not, but there is a lot of Garry Joneses. Like, I Googled him, and all I got was, like, one after another that were not him. I had to, like, literally look him up on social media to see if I had the right Garry Jones. So, help us out today. When he gets on here, make him feel like $1 million. Make him realize how amazing he is. He already knows it because he's helped these big companies. He's done these great things. So let's make sure he sees why Delight Cafe, the digital cafe. So, like, let's make sure we know that he is number one and that he is going to be our favorite person coming on the show today and blow this up to making it a good time. I have missed you all too. Been a horrible stomach flu and sinus infection. Really took everything out of me. Then the Flexeril and pain pills make me so tired. I had to cancel surgery as well. Hey, Mama Gotti, Minister Jane, Dr. Jane, Dr. Jane, like Minister Jane, I'm sending you good vibes, good energy, good love, positivity, please know how much we benefit from your comments, from your interactions, and thank you. We love you. Kevin right here, he's sending love to everybody. I love Kevin. He's just such a good guy.
He is.
I love coaches and the different tips they give. Everyone has their own unique angle. This should be really good. I agree. So what would be a question if you had a chance, a one-on-one, to sit down with any coach in the world? What would be a question you'd want to ask a coach? Like for me, I get to do this every day, so it's fun for me, but I have to think of different questions. And Ilse and I are always talking about this, like behind the scenes and all that. So for me, what would be the thing that I would want to see that would be does he see himself growing? You know, how do you know when it's time to take that next step, when it's time to let go of somebody and move into your next realm? Do you know what I'm saying?
I do. Mine is where do you decide that I want to be a coach and I'm confident enough to raise other people's vibrations or move them in the right direction? At one point, do you know that this is what I want to do? Because that's a big step. That is a huge job to center yourself and get into that mindset, because you need to be in that mindset of empowering people to empower a lot of people and change their lives. It's not just getting onto a stage and saying one or two words. It's got all to do. It's all got to do with your energy and what you radiate, and your body language and everything. And so I think that's a very difficult thing. So I would like to know that from all coaches, even from you. I mean, you are doing these big talks, and it's a huge thing. I mean, that's a huge accomplishment for anybody. How did you know that this is what I wanted to do?
I've always deep down inside wanted to do. I help people naturally. If I am around you and I hear you saying something about yourself that I don't agree with, I say it. And I always see the best in others well before I see anything in myself. And it's just who I've always been. I didn't know I was going to stand in front of people and talk, but truth be told, I knew that was what deep down inside I was going to have to do, or what I was going to be, what I was born to do. I'm learning that this time is the time to talk. And then the minute we're off air, it's time for me to be quiet and listen. I absorb a lot more of what others are saying. And I think that's been the hardest lesson I've had to learn is I don't want to be a negative impact on people. I don't want to bring out anything, but I can see the best in people, and I see it very clearly, and I take their words and connect it. Having my whole life being told I was unique, special, different, it was one of those where as a kid you hear that, it's not a compliment, but as an adult, it's like the greatest thing you could hear. And the more I'm hearing it, the more I'm starting to now I'm getting Brit Brad's talking to me and yelling at me in text message, telling me how much of a jerk I am. Sorry, ADD kicked in. That's what I get for having everything scroll across. Every email scrolls across the bottom of my screen, every text. And I saw her name, and I'm like, oh, what did I do?
Am I in trouble again?
I stay in that realm. But like I 100%, I look at everything we do and I say, how does this help me? Like, how is this, like, what did I do today that even if it doesn't make me X, Y, and Z, whatever, it makes me know that, am I giving back to others in a way that's essential? Is it giving back to people to make sure I take care of myself, that when I do, quote unquote, disappear, I can come back and actually talk to everybody and have that light back inside me. And I say that as someone with no kids, no family like that, no nothing. But the truth is, I have so many friends that are moms that have kids, and you don't get that time to go escape. So when I go reset my fire, I want to come back and have my fire be something that's so powerful, it goes into you, that you want to take and give it to your kids. That's what I believe I'm supposed to be doing on this earth. And it's hard. And I do my best to show up every day. And I thank you guys for being here and showing up with me. So if I was to give a speech, I already know what my speech is going to be on. It's we're an ocean, and you're the ocean of Ilse, I'm the ocean of Brandon. And from there, it extends out. And that's why I can't say much more. That's literally as far as I'm allowed to go. I checked with my coach.
So I think a big thing in this journey as well for you and for me is trusting what we've got to say is important and needs to be heard, because some days you wake up and you feel so insignificant that you think that how can something that comes out of my mouth change someone's life? And then you realize that is how your life got changed with people using the power of their words to empower you and not bring you down. And that just makes me, and I don't know if you're the same, just makes me believe more in the power of my voice and the power of helping people and just giving everything, living authentically.
I agree. Living authentically. How does one know? There's a question we should be asking the coaches. How does a person live authentically when the rest of the world is always giving us what we should be thinking?
Every morning, that is also an ongoing journey. You can't just say, oh, today I'm going to live authentically, because the outside world happens and people's reactions happen and that. So it's a constant journey of just standing in your power, setting your boundaries the whole time, doing what's right, even when nobody's watching. And I think that's the most difficult part. It's easy for if people don't know you to not give them everything, not being open and raw and authentic in front of everybody because you feel that you will be judged. So that the main thing there is just to not worry about what people say and just live true to yourself, what makes you happy, what inspires you. Because after all, that's the only person you can ever take responsibility for is yourself. You cannot I can't even take responsibility for my kids. And it's hard to say because I want to, but they make their own choices and they decide their own lives and they've got different paths to go.
Sorry, Mama Gotti's comment made me want to cry. She says, you are special and unique. I want to thank you for all the advice about helping my son start the day. It is a tool we use daily now. It sets the mood for the day we still struggle with. And you know what? It takes time. It's one of these things like my message I did for Mental Health Monday that I do before we start the show every week. I wrote that to myself because I did it. I do see that I take advantage of, I have 30 minutes. Why don't I turn on Bob's Burgers? Or why don't I find something that I could set a goal to buy instead of actually being grateful or looking inside myself. And the writing this morning was basically me reading what I felt inside my own heart and listening to myself. So thank you, Mama Gotti. I love that to hear his angers and his triggers, but we have those goals to focus on, and it's been a huge impact on our day and our intentions. Mama Gotti, I know you're going through a lot, and you're raising a young man, and young men especially are confused because their parents were told, their dads were told, you're not allowed to have emotions, and their grandfathers were told, you just push it down. And 100% of us are, whether you're male, female, black, white, Asian, Filipino, I don't care what you are. The thing is, everybody has a struggle, and that anger is something that we don't know how to deal with in the right process nowadays. And I'm someone that I 100% know that I come from a spot where I was angry at points in my life, and I don't deny that. That'd be like denying I'm bald. I can't deny I'm bald. It's very obvious, okay? I don't have a forehead, I have 11 head. Okay. But I look to inside, and that anger gets me, you, everybody nowhere. That anger, even that person that cuts you off, it gets us nowhere. But resetting that anger for a calm, balance, and delight state, not a commercial, but really doing that helps you be able to balance yourself, to find that delight and pull out the best Bob Seymour, the best Mama Gotti, the best Brittany Brady, and the best Ilse. And that's all we're trying to pass on to our kids. So for me, I want to leave this earth one day better than I found it by helping people compartmentalize their anger into being able to find their best self. I hope that makes sense.
It does. It does make sense. That was beautiful.
Okay, I'm being quiet now. It's your turn to talk because I talked a lot this morning.
So let me quickly tell you how your daylight savings screwed up my whole day. Thanks, America. So usually when the show starts, it's 4:00 and I'm sitting in front of my computer and I'm like waiting and I'm like, Brandon, you are so late. This is like making it by the skin of your teeth. It's like 5 to 4 and I look up and I'm like, oh crap, it's scheduled for 5:00 because you moved your time out. So I was very early to the show this morning because it's still the same time in South Africa.
You guys have no daylight savings time. Is America the only country that does daylight saving time? I don't know this.
I have no idea. But it affects everybody around the world. Let me just tell you that. So what does it mean? Do you guys now, it's still 10:00 by you and it's just an hour early or an hour later?
It's 10:50 right now. It is 10:50 right now. And so it would have been 11:50. Yeah. So does that mean... Really? So you're 7 hours ahead of us now?
Yes.
They do it in Mexico. Yes, the UK does not do this. They do it in Mexico. I did not know that. Daylight savings sucks. Do you know why we have daylight savings time?
I have no idea.
I can explain it, and it's so simple, and you're going to laugh. It's for farmers. It gives them an extra hour to work and get out there with the sun earlier and all that. And it also is being able, and Canada does daylight savings time. Boom. Thank you, buddy. Thanks, Kevin. My thing is, look at Mama coming out. The farmers started it, and it was meant to be for them to be able to help with their crops and get the most out of their day and get more sunlight for their day. But it's
the same amount of sunlight. You're moving it on an hour. They must just wake up 1 hour earlier. Then they'll have exactly the same time. I don't know how it works. I don't think because in South Africa we're not used to it. That's why it screwed my brain over a little bit today. And I'm like, what's going on here?
The UK does it as well, but they changed 7 days before the US. I did not know that. Did not know that. That was something that's new to me. That's interesting. I wonder what there is. What is something that is done in South Africa that the rest of us don't do? So because we have daylight savings time for all these other places and all that, what is somewhere else that there's something we could do? I'm just curious. Do you guys have Amish people? Do you have Amish Africans?
I don't know. I know we've got Scientology people. And I
knew that.
And I saw on TikTok that apparently we've got a satanic church and there's 12,000 followers in this satanic church. And I'm like, okay, if that's what tickles your fancy. But I never knew that there was a satanic church in South Africa.
Right. Right. There's only one satanic church in all of South Africa.
Yeah, apparently it's got 12,000 followers in this church.
That's a lot. That is a lot. That's surprising to me, just to be clear. It's not the satanic part. It's the amount of people.
Especially in South Africa because we're dominant Christians. So dominant European Christian families that came here. So Christianity is a very, very big thing. So can you now imagine some grey South African boer auntie, child, the big Christians, child turns out to be the leader of the satanic church. The whole neighborhood, that lady's gonna get crucified by the whole neighborhood. How did
Jane-
you raise your kids?
Right. Minister Jane says Congress is talking about going to standard time or to give states the choice to change. So that way they don't have to do daylight savings time. Mama Gotti, I like how she says this. They could just change their work schedule, the farmers, but no. Changing all the clocks twice a year is easier. But then my favorite is she comes back with, I'd like not bothering the clocks because, the clocks, the farmers, which one is going to take it more personally? Everyone struggles with it anyways. I laugh because I used to say that's the one time a year I was on time for church. Like, I literally got to church and was like, oh, I made it. Like, I'm on time. It's about time. Oh, that's funny. Daylight savings time sucks our energy. My clock...
my choice. My clock, my choice.
I guarantee I can read that like Bob. It's my clock. It's my choice. Time isn't even just a placeholder.
Which is true. That's how they track time, is with the cycles of the moon and everything. The time that they've got in the hours and everything. Also like
do you know that there is an eclipse coming up?
I did. I don't know exactly when, but I know that there's one coming up, and then we've got a ceremony that we can go to. Yay!
Elaborate. What is your ceremony?
The shaman and the Pachamama. That's part of our soul tribe. They do rituals to the moon and everything. Right now they're in, where's the Northern Lights? Lapland.
Where did you say?
Lapland. I must get I think it's where the
Northern Lights should be in Africa. In
Norway,
Alaska.
Yes,
Sweden, Norway, yeah.
There's somewhere there's a place, because I know they're in Lapland, so they're on an expedition. They do spiritual journeys to Peru, to Lapland and all that. So yeah, in Joburg they live in Parktown. They do dispatchos and rituals for the moon for anybody that wants to pitch up, and then you just share and bring and share. So everybody brings something to eat, and we just feast and just give thanks to Mother Nature, to the sun for bringing the crops, and just the eclipse and all the power and energy. So they do it live, but when we go, I'll make you a small video and then show you how it goes and how they do it. It's very interesting and so much fun.
The eclipses, I have to double check myself, but I believe it's next week, the 18th. It's like the 16th or the 18th. It's an even number. I remember that. And it's fascinating to me because we have a new moon that just started. If you want to set your goals for the month of November, write them down tonight. Like, actually, maybe that's what I'll do later, is I'll make a list of things. I'll make another sheet like that I did, Ilse, that you had me, that I plugged in for everybody. By the way, if you think you know the Delight Network, do yourself a favor. See if you could pass this quiz right here. Boom. This is the Delight quiz. I'm going to share that to all major platforms. Don't hesitate to click it, playing us in the background, of course. Do yourself a favor. If you get all 10 answers correctly, your name gets placed on the Wheel of Seduction. Don't know what I'm going to do with that yet, but I'm going to make it up on the spot.
Get on Brandon's to-do list.
Yes.
Brett, this is your chance, baby.
She already took it. I think she said she got a 3 out of 10, which made me laugh hysterically because I'm like, how did you get 3? How did you get so many wrong? Like, there's some of them that were just so easy. Like, what's Bob's motorcycle's name? And like, how many kids does Brandon have? Those answers were funny. I had some fun with those answers. Who would want to have kids with him? Like, I had fun with that one. But like, in all seriousness, have some fun with us. Enjoy your time to be able to get out there and just love on one another. Oh, she got a 4 out of 10. She failed still, but she got a 4 out of 10. But the link is right there, guys.
I'm on the show and I got 6, and I feel bad.
Got it.
I also said one foster kid, Brett. Brett.
So That's correct.
100%.
But if that's not the question, it says the question doesn't say
You
how
have
many
to
foster
read.
kids, and I did that on purpose. It's one of those, like, I did that. Sorry, Gavin just texted me to say, hey, good show today. I love it. And I want to make sure I give him a shout out. Love you, buddy. I hope you're doing well. It caught me off guard. He doesn't usually text me in the middle of a show. And so for him to do that, I wanted to make sure I said, love you, buddy. I'm glad you're able to tune in today. I hope you're doing well. Sending you good vibes, positivity, and energy. We all know Gavin's an amazing human being. But no, it's not how many kids. It's how many kids does Brandon have, not how many foster kids. Because I tricked that. And it's your kid, but he is. Look, it's the way that Brandon asked the question. I see you, Britt. She's the most, like, I could say the grass is green, and she's going to be like, the grass is yellow right now. It's because of the leaves on top of it. It's not green. Get it right, you son of a bitch. And I'm like, wow, I didn't mean to upset you, Britt. I'm sorry about that. My bad. And yes,
I got it also.
You are correct. He technically would be mine because of that. So maybe I have the wrong answer then, and I have to give everybody that answer correctly from that trivia. But or I just give the answer. It's 0. I have 0 kids. None. So the answer of who would want to have kids with Brandon is the correct answer. That is the one I picked as the right answer. So have fun with it and know that. But Ilse, we have our guest. He's going to be back. He's here. He'll be here in like any minute now. He's in the backstage. We're going to bring him on. Tell us a little bit about him right before we go to our break and I play the commercial. And then, guys, don't go anywhere. Oh, my gosh. 4 people have already filled out that trivia. Like, it just came across my other screen. I'm like, dang, good job, guys. I love it. Heck yeah. So please let us know about Garry Goldstar, because I'd like to win a Gold Star. Beep, dad joke at the end of the day today. And watch us all. Yeah, there was the joke. Ilse's like, yeah, I'm going to just scratch my back on that one and act like you didn't say something dumb. Tell us about Garry, and I look forward to learning more about him.
Garry Jones is a transformational coach, martial arts master, and international speaker and a #1 best-selling author. He worked for 20 years in private industry, starting on the shop floor to become a general manager, responsible for 1,100 staff. It was in this environment that he discovered his passion to developing people, helping many attain top-level careers worldwide. Subsequent years of self-employment had given Garry a complete understanding of businesses, both large and small, and the people who work within them. He has a lifelong involvement with martial arts, and alongside his successful coaching career, runs a Muay Thai boxing gym, which combines his love for physical fitness with bringing out the very best in his students through his 40-plus years of experience. Garry has a strong belief in achieving measurable results quickly and effectively. His unique experiences in the world of business, martial arts, physical and mental health, and spiritual development combine to create positive, almost alchemical change in the lives of businesses of his clients. His vision is to have a lasting impact on 300 million people of the world, to leave a legacy of more smiles in the world. He lives with his family in UK and works with clients on a national and international level, creating bespoke solutions to many and varied issues, from one-to-one coaching to developing teams and leaders in multi-million-pound businesses. I'm excited.
I am too. All right, let's hear a word from our sponsor. We'll be right back. Guys, make sure to get your hello into Garry right now. Garry, hope you're ready, buddy. You're on in 1 minute.
Hi, my name is Brandon, and over the past year, the Delight Cafe team and I traveled across the U.S. researching this rapidly growing industry of CBD products. What we have found throughout the industry were products that were inconsistent in dosage and used ingredients that weren't even lab tested. Products with chalky textures, bitter aftertaste, and worst of all, confusion among the CBD consumers. That's why we created Delight Cafe. A 15-milligram, lab-tested, all-natural, water-soluble hemp CBD powder pack. It's odorless, colorless, and tasteless. Add it to your favorite drink of choice, wherever, whenever, on the go. Quickly find your calm, your balance, your delight when you need it most.
And we are back. Mr. Garry Goldstar, thank you for being with us today. We are so excited to have you here. How's your day going so far?
Great, absolutely great. Yeah.
I love that.
Thank you so much for inviting me on as well. You know, it's I get to be on many things, but quite excited to be on here today as well.
I'm honored to hear that. Thank you. We're honored to have you here. So I have to ask a question right off the bat. Is Muay Thai, Jiu-Jitsu, they have all these different things that people can get into and all that. Why did you choose to get into like a martial arts like that? Because were you bullied as a kid, or did you just want to know how to protect yourself? Like, I got to know.
Not bullied, no. I started when I was 7 years old, just out of, I guess, wanting to be involved. I was given a choice by my father. I was swimming at the time as well, and it was swimming or martial arts, and I chose martial arts. At that time, karate was what I was in, but the only thing offered in the area around here. And it's later in life that after training many different martial arts, I discovered the one that was best for me. You know, lots of people ask about what's the best martial art. The answer to that is what's best for you. It's like anything in self-development or career, you know, it's what's best for you. There is no best that's generic.
Hi, Garry. How you doing? Hi, I'm all the way from South Africa, a very cold South Africa today. I was so interested in reading your bio and everything that you do. And there's something that I read on your website, and it says, why do you say that smiling is an art, and what is Zen smiling?
I'll give you an example, right? I don't want to be in the business of creating millionaires, rather smillionaires. Now, I've stolen that. You know, amateurs plagiarize and experts steal outright, but we're open about it. And that was from a program. It's a lady actress in the UK, you know, and it's one of these reality programs. If I'm a celebrity, get me out of here, and set in Australia, and they eat all sorts of crazy rubbish things. But she was asked the question, you know, what would you do with £1 million? And she's coming with a bit of stick in the UK. She's trolled a lot and that really for being thick, as people understand it. But my God, she came out with a genius statement, which was, I'd rather have 1 million smiles.
Wow.
I went, aha. So straight away, I wrote down smillionaire. Yeah, and I thought, that's what we need to be creating. Now, it's not to say the money doesn't help. Of course it helps. But if you're starting from the point that you're a smillionaire, you know that money's going to come a lot easier.
I've never heard that before. And I do a lot of like reading of positivity and stuff like that. And that was something that, wow, like I love that. 1 million smillionaires, like that, smileaires, I like that. Really quick, I have to point out, your mic is a little quiet. The comment, everybody loves your accent. They're all like, oh my God, I love his accent. It's so, and you're like, what accent? I know, trust me, I get it. But like, I want to make sure they can hear you because your answers, try it again. Go ahead.
Okay, is that better now?
I hear you good. Ilse, give me a thumbs up. Perfect.
Good,
Love
good,
it.
good.
Perfect. So what is your favorite James Bond film, and how does it feel to be a part of such an amazing trilogy or amazing series? I kid. It's just the accent. You don't even have to go with that one. That one was just me having some fun. When you took this role for yourself, Garry, and you started understanding you were going to be a positive, motivational person and all that, did a light turn on for you and you realized I can actually make a difference in myself to help others? Or did you just always be giving to others and this was a way of being able to help you just be the best Garry you can be?
Yeah, I guess the answer is a bit of both. For many years, I studied self-development and that really, and in particular, one of my fan bases was Dr. Richard Bandler. And this is this whole thing about, keeping hold of the thought. It's perhaps a rather long-winded story, and I'll keep it as short as possible as I can. I then saw an advert in a newspaper in a hairdresser's. There seems to be a common theme in my life of things that happen in hairdressers. But I saw an advert. You could apply to have a meeting with him in London. And short story is, I got there. Amazed that I got there, and with billionaires and people that, I had the whole thing of what am I doing here? But long story short is that I just went there as a Thai boxing instructor because I knew he'd worked with Muhammad Ali way back in the past. And it's through Richard that says, look, you're doing all this coaching anyway, but you're not really getting the reward back for it financially. You are in every other way. So why don't you put that into practice? Drop all the rest of your day job and just focus on coaching people. Keep the Thai boxing going, that's integral, but focus on helping more and more people. Because I had a rather limited view of just, friends, family, and people I know, and now it's a target of 300 million. There have been other inspirational things as well. Recently, I got asked that, was there a trigger point in your life where something like this happened? And I said, well, now you've put me in a dilemma. I can answer you truthfully and probably lose a lot of my followers that think I'm crazy, really small. Or I can make it up and give you an answer that I think will be marketable. And I chose to give the answer of honesty. That's integrity. We all use that word integrity. It means honest with yourself. It's nothing to do with anybody else. And the honest integrity answer is, at 6 years old, I can remember being in a school playground, hearing in my head, this is an illusion. You're just here to observe, and by observing, you will help people. Now, my nan, which in this part of the world we call them nans, my grandmother, or my nan, thought I was crazy then, so I risked off to all sorts of religious venues, shall we say. But it stayed with me. It just took me a long time through my life to wake up and put it into practice properly, really, in a focused way.
Sorry, the sound is still bad. So if we can just... Yes, sorry, the sound just went. I think the speaker might not be close enough to pick up. And then I'm
going to move it right close to me now then.
Okay, so let's see. Can you hear me okay? So
I can really hear the both of you very clearly.
It's okay, so let's try this again. So your book, what made you want to write this book? Where did you decide this is the book I want to write, and this is the information that I want to share, the legacy that I want to leave behind for my followers?
Well, the book was to come out at a very particular time. It was a few months before the January that everything changed for all of us, And I've been talking to top financial people that it was talked about that something was going to happen. It took everybody surprised by what it was, but that something was going to happen. And then linking that back in with the martial arts, when everybody comes to learn a martial art, it's from a place of fear, in one form or another. So earlier you asked me the question about being bullied. I wasn't at the time when I started the art, but it came later, of an attempt to. And that wasn't by peers, that was by teachers. Now, I'm absolutely not coming from a victim point of view of this. It's much more thank the gods for those teachers, because they made me what I am here and now. They were a gift. given me to push me down the mark level. But the book itself about fear is really, there's only two emotions when we come down to it. It's fear or love. In one form or another, it's fear or love. And from the point of love, we feel secure, we feel dynamic, we feel full of energy, we rule the world. And all the rest is what gets in the way of that feeling. With fear, you can learn to take control of the fear,
Yeah.
recognize that it has a positive aspect at times, of course it does.
Yeah.
If my fighters are not feeling fear before going into that ring, I'll make sure they do, because they need those chemicals buzzing through their body at the right time and in a controlled way. So that's why I wrote the book, to try and give some practical, simple techniques, because I felt those weren't really in the market. Things were talked about it, but just I like practical, quick, and easy. I go into many clients' places and there are hundreds of self-help books on the shelf. And when you ask somebody, have you read them? Yes, oh yeah. And so what did you do out of them and what worked? And you get a blank look. Because it's too complicated, it's too time demanding. We don't have time, do we? We
No.
just want something to work now.
Have you noticed, you've been doing this for a while, Garry, have you noticed that people, as time's gone on, have created more fears? We've created more social dilemmas, more anxieties because of that needing it now, needing it now. Have you noticed that a change in your clients, that you almost have to twist how you teach people to believe in themselves, even? Like adapt, I should say. That'd be a better word, adapt.
Yeah, well, that's two words I've been using to people through all of the, you know, after what happened in January 2020, adapt and act. It is things that you have to adapt, but it's taking action that changes things. Not. There's a place for visualizing, but the visualizing should stimulate a feeling to get off your ass and do something about it. Yeah. In terms of the fear, in particularly, I would say more than ever in the last few months, because we're surrounded by it. We're everywhere we turn, every media. The amount of times I tell my Thai boxing students to stop watching the news as being part of it, just watch it and observe it. Make note of it, it's relevant, but watch it and observe it, not be driven into a place of fear. Everybody's being driven to a place of fear. Well, we're all going to die tomorrow. Come on, the human race has been more wonderful than that. We've faced immense challenges and got through it. And death is a part of life. That's another fear that's been driven into us. It doesn't exist. Bodies are removed, placed out of the way. Our forefathers used to put the bodies in the living room for days for everybody to pay their respects. And you see death for what it is, a beautiful part of life. The fear definitely, in the last 2 years, it started where everybody was supporting each other, and now it's moving to places of anger. The fear changes over a period of time. And we're reaching a period where it will get beyond it. We will get beyond it. We're approaching a time that people have pulled together as a community again and support each other through, instead of supporting each other by things are getting worse, that's not supporting. It's things will get better. Sometimes they have to get worse to get better, and recognizing that too. But it will ultimately be good for us all.
In your book, you talk about hypnotherapy and how it can help with PTSD and anxiety and even something like smoking. How does that exactly work, hypnotherapy, to get you off a habit like smoking? And I'm a smoker, and there's a reason I'm asked that. I've stopped smoking so many times and always somehow land up smoking again. And now getting my mindset right to just take that step again is one of the most difficult things to do.
I think it was Mark Twain, wasn't it, that said, giving up smoking is easy. I've done it hundreds of times. Yeah. so the hypnotherapy. Yeah, see, here's an honest answer as well. But it's not that hypnotherapy doesn't work. There are just good hypnotists and there are bad hypnotists. It's not that medicine doesn't work. You know, there are good doctors and there are rubbish doctors. Yeah. So the key point is though that the hypnotherapist does nothing otherwise than allow you to access a part in you that definitely wants to change. And that's the key. It has to really want to change. If I use some examples, right, sometimes being a victim or being with an addiction gives you greater benefits than not being so. You've got to switch that. If the benefits are better, we're creatures of habit as human beings. We want to stay addicted. I mean, people stay with the most horrendous things, domestic abuse. Right? They stick with that because the known is better than, I've got to find a new house, what am I going to do with the kids, what am I going to do? Yeah, that's frightening, that's fear again. I don't know without personally finding out you with your smoking needs, but there'll be something that is a bigger reward by continuing and taking back up smoking again than it does by giving up. Despite everything you know and you've been told, you know, none of that really matters to the back of the human brain. That you can put as many warnings on the side of a pack of cigarettes as you want. It means nothing to your brain, to your ego, to whatever the reward is giving you in return for starting up smoking again. Hypnotherapy can take you to a place which switches that, along with other techniques like neurolinguistic programming or a number of other things. And the reality in the self-development world as well is that, you know, they get all this marketing hype that this is the thing that will help you, this is the one, right? No, you're an individual. Your programming that you've received through the whole of your life is purely yours. Nobody else in the universe has anything like it. So for somebody to help you help yourself, you have to get into that and understand that lots of things, we'll try this, be honest with you, it doesn't work. We'll try that, it doesn't work. It doesn't work. Until we find the thing that does. Because you are a unique, amazing person.
Wow. So you kind of answered what my question was going to be. Now, I do hypnotherapy, and I have to be honest, I'm a former youth pastor, Garry. So having someone like me do that, it's one of those where people are like, wait, what? There's no way. Like how did you do this? I honestly, being raw, I thought it was a joke at first. I didn't take it seriously when I first heard about it. And then I ended up I interviewed someone on a podcast, and at the end of the show, she goes, I'm supposed to give you a free session. You're ready for your free session. And I'm like, okay, what a good sales technique. You know what I mean? But that session changed my life. And it was about a year ago now. And I see her every Saturday. And this past Saturday, we dealt with one of my biggest childhood traumas. And I'm sitting there, and I have to be honest, it was the biggest breakthrough I've had in decades, like years of sitting in therapy to have the right hypnotherapist that I always thought was like, you know, it sounds very weird to people, but like it was a breakthrough that I needed because my actual therapy I was going through had issues with medicines. I wasn't on my pills for 6 days because of the doctor making a mistake, to not seeing my therapist for 2 years because of COVID and everything's done digitally. But my hypnotherapist, it's the same concept, but we talk food and we talk meditation and diet and exercise. And I've watched myself crawl out of a depressed hole So I say that because I was blessed, and I use myself as an example on things because we've all been in tough spots. But when someone is looking for, whether it's a therapist, a spiritual guide, a hypnotherapist, or even Muay Thai, to be able to find their Zen moment, what would that thing that they should be looking for themselves be to help them know they're connecting to their better version of themselves? Not just the fun of, oh, I'm beating up somebody in Muay Thai, or, oh, my hypnotherapist is beautiful, because a lot of guys and girls looks are important to them, but that doesn't fix you. How do you know you're building your best self into your next realm?
I'm going to answer this in a bit of a strange way.
Please do.
One of the millennium of years human questions is, who am I? I mentioned, what am I here to do? But in who am I, perhaps a better question is, who do I want to be? Because we're all waiting for this divine moment where some being or a voice inside of us is going to tell us what that is. Wouldn't it be better just to choose?
When you ask yourself that, the first time you ever asked yourself that, Garry, how did you respond? You know that's a weird question to ask somebody, but the truth is, when you hear that, we're all going to have a different answer. What was your response when you said, who does Garry Gold Star Jones want to be? Because I asked myself that almost once a week now. But I look at it as like, today I did it, and I do Mental Health Mondays, and I said, today I want to realize that it's November 8th, Monday of 2021. And the thing is, I only get one of these days. I only get that 1 second, one time. And what do I want to make of that minute, that second, and that day? That maybe isn't about me, but is about changing the world around me by just smiling, to just buying a cup of coffee for the lady behind me that has 8 kids in her car and looks like she could use one. Like, it could be so many little things, but like, how did you, when you asked yourself that question, let it influence you and build you into the Garry you are today?
Well, see, there's a strange answer to it that we're leading to. It's a strange question. So we could come up with something phenomenal, couldn't we? Okay. I have it on my book. I want to reach 300 million people. But I'm not fretting it. In my answer to my own question, who do I want to be? Me. That's it. Forget the rest. It's not important. The minute we attach too much importance to stuff, then all hell breaks loose. You know, as soon as you decide you want something, and I profess this to all my clients, as soon as, why do people be successful? Yeah, they're thrown in the desert straight away. You all get 40 days to test, do you really want this or not? So let's say a client of mine that came to me said, I want to be a master champion, trainer of champions. Brilliant. A week later, COVID happened. Yeah, that's a test then, isn't it? There's your 40 days. How are you going to go about that now? You can't even see anybody. But we came up with a plan. Because if you fight through it, then you get the success, you get the reward. But even though I'm using the words fight through it, let go the importance. Most of my fighters win their fights when they're just in there having fun. They're just being them. Not trying to be anything else. But then the question comes in, so who is me? So we're going round in a circle now. Yeah. Who is me? What I start from a scientific point of view by cutting away the things I am not. This is not a positive mental set way of going about it, is it? It's the opposite. What am I not? And you have to face some of the dark stuff with that as well. If you say, you know, I could do something really good, well, I'm not a killer. But possibly I am. Possibly there's a dark shadow in me, but in the right circumstances and for the right reasons and fighting for the right thing, well, maybe I am. Maybe I could be the worst thing imagined in the world, you know? Maybe I could be in a concentration camp as a guard, I'm enjoying it because I've been manipulated, controlled, and brainwashed. Is that me? Of course, the answer is no. So who is me? Keep chopping away at the things you know. We know what we want out of life generally by finding out the things we don't want. We go through relationships to find out, didn't like that, didn't like that, didn't like somebody being sarcastic, didn't like somebody beating down on me all the time, emotionally. That's the contrast in life, is what leads us to who is me. Whether that's bullying, whether it's bad teachers, bad doctors, bad advice, being in therapy, that took you personally then to the right person you needed at the end of the line. It's a journey. It's all a journey about us in the end. Yeah? And our only job, as Esther Hicks would say, our only job is to be happy. Yeah? But that's a choice as well. Yeah. Buddha quotes you to say, there is no path to happiness. Happiness is the path.
I love the way you say that happiness is the path, because happiness is a choice. You choose to be happy or you choose not to be happy. I've got another question for you. It's very easy to say that people should not live in fear. How do you go from knowing that you shouldn't live like that to moving into a space where you do not fear? And there's a statement that I saw on one of your Facebook posts that piqued my interest, and it was, speak the truth and ignore the outcome.
Yeah, well, that's from Jordan Peterson, really.
Say again.
That's from a gentleman named Jordan Peterson, who can be, controversial on many fronts. He's hated by left wing and right wing. Everybody hates him apart from all the people that love him. And that's all that matters, isn't it? Yeah, isn't that all that matters? Yeah.
What's his name? Then I've got I saw you've got 2 donkeys as well.
Yeah. See, donkeys, right?
Yeah, can you tell us, how did you always want the donkeys? Do you live on a farm that you can keep them there, or?
I live in a place where I can, but like most things in life, you don't plan most things in life, do you? Even in business, I could write a business plan for my business now, and by tomorrow it's blown out of the water. You get an instance like COVID, your business plan, just tear it up. You have to adapt. Donkeys came to me. Donkeys found me. Right? But they're, like everybody says, people are like their dogs. Well, I guess having 2 donkeys, that shows what a stubborn mother I am. Not just one, 2. I'm what's known in psychology as a polarity responder. If you tell me to do something, I will die first. No matter how detrimental to me it is, I am not. If you say please, or would you, or request me, then I'll die doing it as well. But if those aren't there, forget it. How did I survive in the corporate world? I don't know, because I took that behavior all the time. But the donkeys, I use them in my coaching as well, because they're honest. They respond to emotions. Some people use horses in this respect as well. So let's say I have somebody with severe PTSD. We'd go down and visit a donkey, and I can guarantee they will not come anywhere near them. They'll be the other side of the paddock. No way, Jose. They're not coming anywhere near. Yeah. And then I know I've done my job properly. If we go down later in the day, because I like to do things in a day, it's not messing around. Yeah, we'll go back down, and the donkeys will come straight over to me if they're in a good place, or I haven't done my job well enough yet. I have to do some more work. Now, humans, we're like that too in reality. We walk into a room and go, I'm not comfortable with you. But actually, what you're not comfortable with, you're not comfortable with the feeling that person is putting out. Not the person themselves. You're uncomfortable with their behavior, or the way they're stood, or their body language. Something doesn't feel right. But we've been socially conditioned to say, don't judge anyone, don't do this, don't do that. So then you step out of the integrity of what everything is telling you. In here, this doesn't feel right. More in here, really, in the heart. The heart only feels and knows. The mind rationalizes and gets in the way. So the donkeys are just brilliant from that point of view. And I can guarantee I could get my likes up on social media. If I put a picture of me up, not a chance. Donkey, push. Yeah.
Yes,
We,
yes.
we also have a donkey where we live. His name is Donkey. And he's the cutest little thing. So I understand why you like donkeys.
See, the donkeys, why have I got two? So we had two. It was my mother-in-law's, really, that we looked after for a while. And the one died. And they do not do living on their own very well. That could be any other animal, but they're very, very sociable. For hundreds of years, they've been used to putting cattle and calm cattle down. The local farmer here brings the cattle in, and the donkeys getting them to wash their ears and everything. It's just like everybody apparently loves donkeys, even the cattle.
Have you always had a connection to the donkey in general, or are there other animals that help you with your learning? Because your webpage in particular, you have very nice, it says Garry Jones Coaching. I'm trying to make sure I pull this in here for everybody, but like you help people with anxiety, depression, eating disorders, PTSD, building confidence, all these different types of things. And a lot of our viewing audience, we talk a lot about mental health and making sure to find the best in ourselves. So with that, I sometimes throw random things at people. Like my dad is an anti-cat person, but I make sure I tell him, you need a cat now and then. And he's like, why? And I'm like, a dog is that loyal, makes you feel good, where a cat is the one that teaches you that if you keep a calm energy, they'll come over and start loving on you by kneading on you and rubbing on your chest. Cats don't need you, just like we don't need everybody else. Have you had other animals that have influenced your teachings, your life? Because I have to be honest, you're the first person that's ever used a donkey. And I think being able to say, oh yeah, he's a jackass, like would be a hilarious thing on stage. Like it's one of those things,
Yeah. Well, the other thing with cats is, just before I move on to answering that question, and I will answer it for you, cats also love negative energy. So that's why the people that don't like them, they'll go towards them too and drive them crazy, because they like negative energy. Dogs love positive energy.
That's true.
But in terms of other animals,
That's so funny that you say that though, because everybody I can think of that's like, I hate cats. Cats go right to. They're like, hey, mother effer, I'm gonna be like right in your face. You'll be like, what you want? Like, I love that. That is hilarious. I've never thought of it like that.
Yeah, now you're aware of it. You'll see it all the time. Yeah,
that's why I'm gonna have a pet cat. That's why I'm gonna get pet cats. Right away, if the cat likes you, I know you're a bad person. You're negative energy.
I think maybe then I was a cat in one of my previous lives, because I also don't like cat.
A previous cat, yeah, and South African, with that strength and courage, yeah, we're all way to go, yeah. So, in answering the question about other animals, I mean, nature heals. Let's be honest, nature heals. Whether it's animals or just getting out and stuff, your nature again, whatever suits you. Some people it's the sea, some it's the mountains, but the animals. I've grown up in the countryside, so I've rescued lots of birds over periods of time, and dogs have been a part of my life all the way through until last year, where both of our dogs died in a couple of weeks. And this is the only time I can remember in my life of not having dogs. It's very strange, but it's obviously needed at the moment. Whatever this part in my life is, I'm learning they need. But dogs, very much so. Dogs have been a big influence in my life. Rottweilers and rescue Rottweilers. And my wife was a trustee for greyhound rescue over here, so we've got greyhounds. animals just turn up. Chickens, geese, people do it. It's, animals just turn up, and then there's nature itself. I'm blessed, absolutely blessed where I live, to be surrounded by it. Really, there are birds of prey. There's mice in the house. They run around and just sit in front of you. No, it's it's all good. It's all good. The animals.
Also, I'm an animal person and a cat lover and a dog lover and a bird lover and a fish and except spiders, I don't do spiders, and I know why.
Spiders are
Because
good.
2 weeks ago, there was a spider that just affirmed my hatred against them by storming to me while standing in the dark, and I just lost it again and ran away. So spiders are not my favorite.
Well,
Being
see,
in,
spiders in ancient history, spiders represented the high priestess. Yeah. So there's a big message
okay,
to
maybe I
you
must
know.
change my
It's that
mind.
independence of the cat. Yeah, that's it. And that's well,
Wow, I
all I did there is change your perspective. Yeah.
did not, I did
So
not
all
know
of our
that.
fears are just about perspective, aren't they?
That's
But
true. That is
if you
true.
looked at the
That
spider
is
and studied the colours and the beauty that are in it there, and looked at it as a high priestess, maybe the fear would go. Maybe.
that is so amazing. Thank you so much for that. I really appreciate it. You have been in lots of positions in your life over a lot of people and everything. Where in what part of your life have you learned a lesson that you did not expect, a life lesson out of a situation that still till today is part of your life or your ritual that you do daily?
Mm. I was at a large speaking event, and a gentleman came up to me and said, "Would you come and talk to some top financial traders in the world about fear? So about loss as fear." Yeah, I'll do that. He said, "We'll pay all your expenses. We'll pay the hotel. We'll do whatever." I said, "Great. Where am I going to go? Dubai, Singapore?" And then it was Malaga in Spain. And I thought, okay, all right, but it's great. Now, there's an exercise that we did with balloons where you blow your fear into a balloon. Again, keep things symbolic and simple. Done that lots of times with you. So then there's always somebody in the room that's the trigger for you to learn. This person said to me, "You haven't chosen a balloon, Garry." Interesting question. All right. He said, "Do you think you should?" So I did. And we choose at random. They're all different colours. Choose at random. I picked it out, and it was a black balloon. Symbolic, maybe. So, do you mind me asking what your fear is going to be? Well, that's not part of the game. That's not part of what we're doing. But I answered him of what the first thing that popped into my head: suicide. Now, I don't think of that all the time, anything. But there was a period in my life as an adolescent where it was a massive influence. So why have I ended up helping a lot of people that have those tendencies or are close to it? It's because it's inside me too. Every coach out there, the clients that turn up have a lesson for you. They're a reflection of what's going on in you. And not just as a coach, anybody in the world, the people that trigger you, that annoy you, and the people that make you feel good, they're all a mirror reflection of something in you that's coming out in an external reflection. So that's one, but there could be many, because that happens all the time. That's another
It does.
example I'll give of that is all of a sudden I had loads of bulimia and anorexic clients. What is going on here? I don't advertise that I work with people of that need. Yeah, but just like one after another, boom, boom. And I thought, oh, okay. I've been working that many hours, I've stopped eating. I'm only having one meal a day, and I teach all this, for God's sake, I teach about nutrients and meals and everything, and I've neglected it myself by trying to help others so much and putting myself in a compromised position, because if I'd have continued to go in that way, I'd have been ill myself. So that's what I mean about the reflections. Ask yourself the question, what's this telling me?
I like the information that you are giving our people and the little bit of knowledge you impart on them. Being a mentor for someone or a coach and trying to teach people how not to live in fear. How do you keep yourself balanced, especially going through the COVID and all those things? How did you keep yourself balanced so you can uplift other people?
I do techniques to raise my energy. I do things like not watching the news. I do things like watching comedy programs for a set amount of time a day. I use techniques. Robert Holden came up with some amazing techniques of putting just little stickers around your house that are good memories. So subconsciously, every time you're looking up to them, and I talk in the book about looking up, what that does in terms of serotonin, I get out to experience sunlight as much as I can to get my serotonin and my vitamin D up. But there are days, you may have seen a posting from a few weeks ago, sometimes it catches up with you and you have to take a risk. I had a particularly hard day of suicidal people and then ended up on a phone call with one as they were in the process of passing. So that was a dark day where it was very difficult for me to look after me. I make sure I have the support of people around me. I'm not very good at asking for help. Yeah. I'm a strong martial art person, aren't I? No, that's not really me. Yeah. Back to that question. But I recognise I do not ask for help. I'm blessed with having a wife that recognises that better than I do. And also do something about it. But you have to have a good supportive team around you. That's when it gets really difficult, when there's no one around you feel you can trust or converse with, or just you have a tendency to do that. I've got very strong faith in humanity about how many people I've seen putting themselves around in the darkest hours and become amazing people. I used to foster at one point as well, and some of those poor children went through horrendous stuff. And I know amazing people in the community. Give them the chance. But the secret is, just like giving up smoking, you have to give yourself the chance. And say, so what? So what? It's been 50 times you've tried to give up. You just haven't found the right way or the right desire yet to do so. Don't give it so much importance. It'll happen when it's done.
So, with people that have trouble asking for help, like Mama Gotti here, she says, I struggle with that too. I loathe to ask for help. I recognize it now, so I can work on it. How would you recommend? How would you recommend somebody starting to recognize it, noticing their patterns, noticing their individualness, and breaking from the negative mindset of thinking asking for help is bad or not acceptable?
Start asking yourself, part of you, ask yourself that. Yeah. And then journal. Start writing it down.
I'm sorry,
And
can you
imagine
repeat that again? We hear that from people a lot, and I want people to hear that. Like, tell everybody that again, because that was a great answer right there, is asking yourself and then.
ask yourself for help, for your own help, and then journal what's going on in your life. So the good and the bad. Yeah. Become a scientist observing you. A scientist would write everything down, every variable that takes place with you. Write them down, not type them. That's the biggest thing for you. Do not type them onto your computer. Physically pick up a pen and paper and write it down. Buy a beautiful journal, something that makes you feel wonderful. Not an A4 scrapbook. Yeah, something beautiful within the means you have.
I love that.
And you'll notice the pattern. You'll see the pattern develop.
I like
We
that.
already know things like songs will trigger us, yeah? We could be
Yeah.
having a great day and then boom, there's that leading song. Yeah, that takes you back into a past not so good event, and then you start projecting that into what's going to happen today. And no, choose at the end of it. Choose to ask yourself for help for what record can I play next that will pick me up again and choose to change.
You have such a calm demeanor and you are so soft spoken and everything. Isn't Muay Thai one of the most brutal martial arts that you can get? And how did you choose that one specific? Because I've watched a couple of Jean-Claude Van Damme movies where they do that Muay Thai and they hit, because that's where they use their shins and their arms to hit, if I'm not
Yeah,
mistaken. That's the one that I'm
yeah.
thinking of. How did somebody with such a you really look so soft and everything, how do you go from that to that very violent, if I can say that, martial arts thing?
Because it eliminates fear. If you know what you can do in any environment and situation, then there's no need to. You're not in a position of doubting yourself. But really, the top martial arts, it's a path of peace. You're taking yourself to that place of peace because, particularly for men at times as well, if you're in a situation and you're challenged, you may end up fighting just out of fear that you're going to look weak enough. But if you know you can really, really hurt that person, but you don't want to, it's easy to walk away. Even if people are looking at you like you've been humiliated or anything. I can walk away with a smile because I've already run the scenarios through my head and destroyed them in different universes in numerous ways, which allows me to walk away with a smile and say, I don't know what's going on in your life. I don't know what you've drunk. I don't know what's happening. It's not my job to interfere with the path they're on. But I can then be. See, confidence actually is the opposite of what people think. I think, right? Confidence is just not needing to care. I've got no attachment to having to prove myself. I know. I can just walk away. Do you think a lion bothers with a mouse? Does he pick up and smash it to bits? No, he just looks at it with that eye. Or we've all seen nature programs where they're just the cub is coming along and pulling on the big lion's ear, and then in the end you just give him a little tap. But he doesn't kill it or smash it to bits. He doesn't need to. So a lot of the people that start martial arts, they continue with it and find themselves, you do get to an area of absolute peace and calm, even to the point of view, so what if you're going to die in a situation, so what? It's just part of life. I talk about in the book that I nearly drowned, and I'm about as close to it as I could get. And I talk about the bit that I've always loved chivalry and what that represented. Is that one of the great sayings of that was, you fight death until the very last breath, and then at the last breath, accept it with grace. And that sums it up for me. That's just accepting that there's some things that are inevitable. You are not in a position to change. It's not something to fear.
Yeah. Gary, you come in with this calming demeanor, this energy of just pure. The only word I have is light, because you're not coming in and forcing answers on people. Even with technical difficulties at the beginning and all that, you stayed calm. You're like, here, let me try this. Let me move this. And have you always been like that, or do you attribute that to the Muay Thai and that? Because I ask because I know that a lot of people that do jujitsu, Muay Thai, all those things, there's usually someone who's trying to rebalance themselves because they see they're angry in other ways, or they're hurting in other ways, and it's their way of letting it out. Have you always been calm, or have you noticed different things help balance Gary out? Because you came in and you saw at the beginning of the show, it's a lot of energy, it's keeping everybody going, it's making laughs, and we bring it in down to your level for the interview. And honestly, this is a great way to keep going. It's noon my time. It's 7 o'clock Ilse's time now, where she's at in South Africa, and you're in the UK, so I think you're 7 o'clock as well, if I'm correct. So like the rest of our day is everybody that's watching, that's feeling this energy, gets to take that with them because of how you did that. And I just want to say thank you for that. And then how can we get that energy for everybody to start their day knowing that, for everybody to keep doing this and start tomorrow with that right energy?
In Buddhism, a lot's talked about non-attachment. And people get that wrong. Non-attachment isn't living like a pauper in an orange robe walking the world, necessarily. That's good for that person and that culture. It just means I don't care. You think about something in California that had their home burned down and lose everything, or floods in India and that way. If you're not attached to it, it doesn't matter. You're still you. The problems for all of us start when we attach to a person, to an animal, to a building, to our material goods, that our life would fall apart without it. How many times in a relationship you say, I couldn't live without you. Even I listened to an amazing interview with Joe Rogan, and somebody I think is just stunning is Wim Hof, the Iceman. And forgive me, Wim, for saying this if you ever listen to this, but I just think it's important the words you said. Joe asked you, you must have really loved that woman. You said, I loved her to death. Wow. Wow. I felt a pain in my heart when I heard those words. If we want the light within us, so do everything that is within your values. Stick to you being you, your credo. No matter what the world throws at you and what the outcome is, stick to being you and make sure you respect everybody else to do the same. No matter how much they trigger you, no matter how much you want to change them to be like you because it's the right thing, and maybe it's not for them. We're all on our own individual path. Can you imagine how the world would be if we did that? Things go in waves from one thing to another, from communism to fascism to the other. It's just labels, What's important is you, what you're doing in you. Fill yourself with that life by living your values. And if they're truly from your heart, they're not going to do anybody any harm. The way the world is, sometimes you'll find yourself in situations where you feel compromised and put in a position to give in by attaching to something, and then your problems are going to start. So I'm not telling anybody to do anything, but try it. The core of my beliefs are accept nothing, believe nothing, check everything. And people think that can be a bit negative. But it's to check everything. It's the positive thing. Try try it, because you don't know if it fits in with your software programming of who you are until you've tried it. And it may be wrong for you. If I'm teaching Muay Thai techniques, everybody has a different level of flexibility at the time, perhaps. It doesn't work for you, so put it in the bin. It doesn't work for me. And 2 years later, you may be fitter, faster, more flexible. It has to work for you then. Adapt to that.
Thank you so much. I'm so grateful that you were on the show and that we could learn so much from you. How we sorry, excuse me. How we end off the show is we each you have given us an hour of golden nuggets. If you can part with another one, we would really, really appreciate it. So how we end the show, we all just give thanks and give a little nugget for our viewers and something that resonates with you. I'll go first, and then Brandon, and then you can end the show, because I think everybody can't wait to hear what you've got to say. I think a lot of people, you have helped a lot of our viewers today by just being here and sharing your knowledge. So I'll go first, and thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you. Thank you.
Guys, today is the 8th of November, 2021. As Brandon said this morning or in the beginning of the show, you've got so many seconds, 86,400 seconds and 1,440 minutes. Times that by 20, and you see how many seconds my daughter was in my life, that I had to make a positive impact on her so she can have the tools to be the amazing lady that she is. Today, I just want you guys to forget about the past, because there's nothing you can do about any mistakes or anything that you have made or any decisions that you have made. When you made those decisions and when those things happened in your life, you only had a certain amount of information, and you should never be hard on yourself for making a decision in that moment, because every decision gets you to your path where you will be and have to be. You will never go off path if you follow your authentic self. And as the universe always just gives us what we need to hear at the exact time that we need to hear it, she gave us a card again today, and it says, embrace your authenticity. And it says, authenticity is always convincing, is always more convincing than superficial. Lies only lead to more lies. Trying to impress others through exaggeration leads to inner and outer turmoil. Honesty and authenticity lead to inner and outer peace. You are exactly what this world needs at the exact moment that we need it. Everything's connected. You are worthy. You are amazing, and you can change people's lives just by existing and shining in your own authenticity. I love you guys to bits. Mwah.
Well done, Ilse. Well done. Honestly, you took part of what I was getting ready to say about us all being connected, and I think that just shows how connected we are. My thing for today is, whatever time zone you're in, wherever you're at, whatever you're doing, you have today. This morning, you might have woke up and spilled coffee on yourself. Maybe the cat pooped in your shoe like my dog did last week for me before we started the show. Yes, Garry, that actually happened. I saw you look off there like, wait, what? I literally stepped in it in my flip-flop. I'm like, are you kidding me? But the thing is, the minute you wash that off, you're able to start over. You're able to wipe yourself clean and be able to know you have a new slate. Take today. Don't look at the spilled coffee. Don't look at what's going on around you. Don't compare yourself to others. But just take today to look inside yourself and see how absolutely amazing you are. Because no one else is going to take the time to do it other than you to love you. Thank you guys for being here.
Well, maybe, Brandon, you got to wipe the cat poop off your soul.
True.
So here's what I would say. I'll keep it short. Truth. Yeah. I talked about keeping true to yourself. Embrace your authenticity. That's the integrity of you. But the truth is yours. And a lie is the truth in somebody else's universe. That's the respect. Stick to your truth, stick to your credo. You won't go far wrong. The universe will get behind you in whatever you're driving. Because if you're not authentic and you're not being you, nothing's going to go wrong.
Wow. Garry, you brought such amazing energy today. Like I said, you stoked our fire here at Delight Cafe, the only digital platform focusing on bringing positivity to you one day at a time for you to love yourself and build your best you. Garry, honestly, guys, one last time, here is his book. Oh, wait, this is his Facebook page. Sorry. I want to make sure I shared them both. I forgot I did that. Here's a link to his book. Please go connect with him. Do what you're supposed to do. Love yourself and grow, because he is a wealth of knowledge and he brought it today. Thank you so much, Garry. Guys, have a wonderful Monday. Let's go change the world. Thanks, guys.
Bye, guys.
Bye-bye.